For Ukrainians, one big part of their culture is dance, and here in Lloydminster, that is showcased every year at the Ukrainian Dancing on the Border Festival. However, this year, the festival means more than just dance.
And by dancing, we're showing our love and our support to Ukraine.
Since 2006, the Lloydminster Ukrainian Cultural Association has been hosting the Dancing on the Border Festival. They've had to take a pause the past 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but they're back this year and looking forward to the event.
We're so excited about it to finally get our kids back out stage to be dancing, to showing what they love, the Ukrainian culture through dance.
The festival will be at the Vic Juba Theater. They will be doing a special performance in support of Ukraine both Friday and Saturday night. They will have around 400 participants with clubs from both Alberta and Saskatchewan. They know now more than ever it's important for them to host the festival and show support for Ukraine.
It doesn't matter what soil we stand on. We are Ukrainian, and our Ukrainian culture is very important, and we want the spirit to live in all of us. Um, it's one way that we can pass on our traditions from generation to generation is through dance. Um, and if we don't teach it and if we don't pass it on, then we're going to lose it.
With the current situation and uncertainty in Ukraine, it's been heartbreaking for many of the members. They're hoping this will lift the spirits of local Ukrainians and be a reminder of where they came from. Many of the association's members have roots in Ukraine, and some have relatives still living there.
I have gone to the demonstrations in front of City Hall with the families um, and praying that things will be restored and that they can all come out unscathed.
The festival will be March 25th to 27th. Tickets are available at the Vic Juba Theater's box office. Lloydminster City Council approved changes to the way council members recognize important figures and organizations in the community.
In 2016, we did proclamations quite regularly. And sometimes we were doing 2, 3, 4 proclamations during a council meeting. Other times I was asked to do it out here for a proclamation. And one of the challenges with a proclamation should bring some significant recognition. And was that recognition truly sought, or was it received?
In 2018, Council greenlit changes to their recognition policy to limit the amount of proclamations made each year and to ensure they're made in a consistent manner. City has decided to keep the new policy after making minor changes to improve consistency with other city policies. Mayor Albert says the new rules allow councilors to recognize community members and events in more meaningful or creative ways.
The need to be out in the community rather than their moment of that proclamation here, endorsing and supporting their events, being able to participate if possible. And I can think of so many events that people had in the past asked for a proclamation, which helped to promote it, but also the opportunity to now be fully engaged in taking part in it, bringing greetings from the community.
Requests for proclamations must be submitted on or before the first Monday in October for the following year. And today is International Women's Day, and for that, an artist has released a powerful anthem aimed at lifting the spirits of women. Our Shelby Clark spoke with her for more details on what inspired the single and her plans next.
Diamante, diamante, tomaste su peso viejo y te hiciste diamante. Diamante, diamante, tomaste ese peso viejo y te hiciste diamante.
Today for Primetime Local News, we are joined here today with artist Anna Liu, who is releasing her brand new album this April, but also releasing 2 additional singles beforehand. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
Of course, no, we're really glad to be able to have you on here, Anna. So let's start off with speaking about, and you were saying this before, that one of these singles has been released today.
Exactly. Diamante, which means diamond. I chose to release it today because of International Women's Day. That's the theme of the song. It's a song of encouragement, of empowerment. I thought about it like an anthem of freedom, like for anyone, no matter their genre, but their genre, not their gender. Sorry, second language. And but I talk about a little bit about the conditioning and the situation that we women go through in life. So it's from that perspective, and that's why I chose to release it today. To kind of boost boost it and have a better chance of getting to the people who need to listen to it.
Oh, no, that's really nice to hear that was planned for today for International Women's Day. So I'm sure a lot of women that will be listening to it will really appreciate the message behind this song. And what is the next one going to be about? What's all involved in the next single that will be released?
Okay, the next one is a love song, but after a love ends, maybe one of the parties involved is left saying like, "What have you done with my love? With everything that I've given you?" It's like nothing happened. You're already over it. So that's kind of the theme behind it. It has more like a jazzy feeling to it, a little bit of gypsy jazz if you want. While this one, Diamante, that I'm releasing today is more rock. That's something about my music. If you listen to my other album or my new album, you'll see that each song is kind of a universe of its own.
And you were also saying that you've already released a few songs earlier on before today, correct?
Yes, in 2021 and 2022. This is the 6th single I released, actually. And yes, all songs from this album, this second album, which is so important to me because it contains the life experiences of my last 5 years, 6 years. That is when I moved, I came to Canada, I started building a new life here. I went through very life-changing experiences like becoming a mother, challenges in my family, illnesses of people in my family. So I've changed so much through this period in my life, and these songs are just pieces of my soul. I poured everything in there.
And could you tell us a little bit about the album that will be coming up?
Yes, sure. And this album, Diamante, is also a very nice step forward for me in my professional development because I've been able to go deeper into my Latin American roots, to just bring, like, my first album has a lot of Argentinian folk color to it, and that's what I explored. But on this second album, I'm just going to rhythms of Peru, of Cuba, Brazil. Like I've been able to work on that and to work with colleagues here in Winnipeg who make Latin American music. They have been doing it here for decades, and it has a very nice. It's like a trip to Latin America, like with all these different messages that I give in each song, but each song is gonna make you dance a little bit, make you emotional maybe a little bit, happy, sad. It's a trip.
It's really great to hear. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining us today, Ana Lu.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Have a great night.
And now for a first look at tonight's weather forecast, we go again to Shelby Clark. Thanks so much, Jasmine. Now taking a first look at your weather forecast here in the border city, we are sitting at -10. We definitely aren't seeing a strong winds today outside as we were seeing yesterday, that is for sure. So I hope everyone is pretty happy to see that. But with that wind chill, it does feel like closer to -20 right now for today. So it is feeling a little bit more of a wind chill for today and feeling a little bit cooler outside. So hopefully everybody is bundled up and trying to stay warm because hopefully spring will be coming soon here. Now switching over to temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan. On the Alberta
Alberta side, most spots are seeing around -9, -10 degrees on the map, while over in Edmonton, they are seeing some slightly warmer temperatures, seeing -7. Now switching over to our Saskatchewan side here, they're seeing some slightly cooler temperatures, but not too bad compared to the Alberta side. Most spots are seeing -11, -10 in Pearceland and down in Maidstone, as well as here in the border city. And Isle Across is seeing a little bit slightly cooler at -12, and down in Macklin, they're seeing -9. And for North Battleford overnight, right now, they are seeing that -11 mark there, but overnight they will be going down to a low of -23, so they will be cooling down quite a bit, seeing a couple clouds in sight. And tomorrow they will be seeing -16 throughout the day, so they will be kind of cooling down tomorrow, but they will be seeing a little bit more sun peeking behind those clouds. Switching over to Cold Lake now, they'll be going down to a low of -25, so they will be drastically cooling down quite a bit for their evening low, and throughout the night they will be seeing a slightly cloudier sky, and then tomorrow they will be seeing -12, so they will be seeing a slightly warmer day tomorrow with a mix of some sun and cloud. And for here in the border city, we'll be going down to low of -22, so we will be cooling down. We will be seeing a 60% chance of some flurries in the evening, might be continuing throughout the night as well. And then tomorrow we will be seeing -15, so seeing a slightly cooler day in temperature-wise, but we will be seeing a little bit more sun, so hopefully that'll help warm things up. And now showing off two of our photo submissions. This one is from Shirley, so thank you for both of these beautiful photos, Shirley. And for everyone that submitted some weather photos throughout this week, I will use them on my weather segment, so you can continue to do so. But these two beautiful photos, seeing those trees with the snow on them, just absolutely gorgeous. So thank you for these, Shirley. And that's all I got for now. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
Over the weekend, a video surfaced of an altercation at one minor hockey game in Lloydminster. Evan Kenny has more on what we currently know about the situation.
On Sunday afternoon, an incident took place here at the Service Sports Center. During a playoff game between two Lloydminster Minor Hockey Association teams, a fan, supposedly being kicked out of the stands, got into an altercation with a young referee. A video of the incident is circulating through social media. The LMHA, the RCMP, and Hockey Alberta all have ongoing investigations, with the Minor Hockey Association saying an incident like this will not be tolerated at any Lloydminster minor hockey event or should not happen at any minor sporting event. We are disappointed that this event happened within our community. They would also add, players, coaches, and other fans supported the young officials throughout the incident, and the game would finish without further interruption. Hockey Alberta's maltreatment, bullying, and harassment policy states any repercussions imposed against a participant must be reasonable and proportionate. However, this is not required, as a single occurrence of a prohibited activity may result in very significant sanctions. We'll have more updates on this story as it continues to develop. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
And now for another look at tonight's forecast, we go to Shelby Clark.
Thanks so much, Jasmine. Now taking another look at your weather forecast, we'll be starting off with the central region of our provinces. On the Alberta side, we've cooled down a bit for today compared to earlier on in the week. Most spots are seeing -7 degrees, -8 in Red Deer, while Athabasca is just hitting that -10 mark, and Jasper is slightly warmer at -5. Going over to our Saskatchewan side, now they are seeing some slightly cooler temperatures, but not too bad. Most spots seeing -11, while North Battleford and Melfort both at -12, and Cold Lake is sitting at -10 as well. And now going over to our northern region to see what they are looking at, they definitely have cooled down quite a bit compared to yesterday. They are seeing some cooler temperatures compared to the central region. Most spots, from what we can see, are sitting at -14, -12 in La Ronge, while it is -15 in South End and Stony Rapids, and Uranium City and Wollaston Lake slightly cooler at -17, -19, almost reaching that -20 point. Going over to the Alberta side here, Peace River, Grand Prairie, and Slave Lake all seeing between -7 and -9 degrees, so they are still at that single-digit point. -13 and -12 in High Level and Fort McMurray, while Fort Chipewyan is seeing -15. And going over to our southern region now, they're kind of seeing the same temperatures as what we are seeing in the central zone. Usually they do see some slightly warmer temperatures, -7 in Lethbridge and Calgary, while Medicine Hat and Banff both both twinning at -8, and Coronation has hit that double-digit point. Going over to our Saskatchewan side here, as usual, they are seeing some slightly cooler temperatures, but not too bad. -12 in most spots here. -13 in Estevan, and Swift Current in Kindersley is at -11. And going back across the region to see what we will expect throughout the evening and throughout the night tonight, without that those strong winds that what we saw yesterday. So hopefully we'll be seeing a little bit of a warm day without the winds, but we will be cooling down with our temperatures for our evening lows. Provost will be seeing a low of -20, while there'll be a low of -23 for most spots. Bonnyville and Pearson will be seeing a low of -24, while Paradise Hill and Meadow Lake will be seeing the coolest with a low of -25 degrees, and Isle Cross will be seeing a low of -21. So we will be mostly seeing past that -20 point for our evening low. So we will be cooling down tonight, and if you got a vehicle, maybe if you want to plug in just to be on that safe side, because with that wind chill, it will feel slightly cooler than what we are seeing here now. And now ending off with our 3-day forecast for here in the border city. Tomorrow we will be seeing a little bit more sun in those clouds, which I think everyone will be appreciative to see. But we'll be seeing -15, so we will cool down with a low of -22, but hopefully that sun will help make it feel slightly warmer tomorrow. Thursday we will be seeing a mix of more of a sun and cloud on Thursday, with -15 continuing on that day with a low of -18. So we will be seeing some slightly cooler temperatures throughout the rest of this week. With the wind chill, it will feel a slightly cooler as well on all 3 of these days. Then Friday we will be starting off this weekend slightly cooler, but we will hopefully warm up on the weekend there with -13 on Friday with a lot more cloudier skies with a low of -29. So please make sure you are bundling up and being careful out there, guys, and making sure you're trying to stay warm if you're ever outside. That's another look at your weather forecast. Our Jasmine King will have more news coming up after the break.
Welcome back, everybody. We're joined once again with Becca Lawrence from the Lloydminster Community SPCA for this week's Pet Project. And we'll start off, as we always do, by introducing our Pet of the Week. And so we have a special one here, so I'll let you go ahead and introduce her, Becca.
Yeah, this sweet lady here is Paisley. So she has been in our care for quite some time now. She was in our care beforehand. She had been adopted, but unfortunately she got brought back. She just had a little bit of urinary issues, but we got that all fixed up for her. But during that time frame here, we discovered she had a bit of dental issues, so we took her in for a dental. And she turns out she has something that's it's kind of called tooth resorption. So it might just kind of, she might have to get dentals every couple of years just because her teeth aren't going to stay nice as squeaky clean as they should. But yeah, other than that, she's very affectionate. She loves love. Not much of a fan of other animals, so she's kind of a only home sort of kitty. And but she, like I said, she loves love. She drools quite a bit when she's quite happy. She's drooling right now. You can't see it, but yeah, she's just the sweetest, and she's got thumbs too, so this makes her cuter.
I was gonna say, she looks like a very sweet cat. She was leaning into the pets there. Like,
Yeah.
she seems like, you know, maybe if you have a quiet home, just yourself, you know, then Paisley might be the perfect cat to keep you company, give you some love in the evenings. Would be, you know, wonderful for everybody involved. Beautiful. And so moving on here real quick, Becca, you guys have another event coming up. It is March, which means St. Patrick's Day is coming up, the green holiday. And you guys have a plan for that kind of set in motion here. So I'll let you just kind of take the floor, and you can tell everybody what the SPCA has planned for St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, so we're still planning with a couple of our pet stores here in town, but currently we have pots of gold set up over at Pet Pad, Pet Value, and Pet Smart. So basically our goal is to fill our pots full of gold. So we basically have our biggest needs list there with all of our pots of gold. So that can be a kind of a help for you if you do choose to want to donate. We also have gift cards on there as well too. So if you want to donate gift cards from anywhere, you're more than welcome to take them there or bring them here to the shelter as well. But yeah, so then it's kind of leading up to, we're going to have a St. Patrick's Day meet and greet sort of situation here again at the shelter. And we're going to have cupcakes that Lloydminster and District Co-op has kindly donated for us. And yeah, so we're gonna have like kind of what we did for Valentine's Day, just a nice little meet and greet for people to come and have a private area to meet an animal maybe that they've been thinking about adopting for a while. So that's something to keep an eye out for as well.
Beautiful. That does sound really exciting. Like, honestly, it gives you an opportunity to help out in different ways. Obviously, you can make an item donation into one of those pots of gold, or you can stop by the actual event, you know, have a cupcake, pet some cats, maybe take one home or something. And I will say, the Co-op Bakery is wonderful. They make
Yes.
so many great things. So the idea of going out and getting a cupcake just sounds wonderful. They're going to be amazing. I already know. And one last topic we're going to touch on real quick, Becca, is you guys have more dogs, which is surprising because you guys just cleared them out. You had so many dog adoptions the last time we chatted, and you already have more. So good news for anybody in the border city looking for, you know, a little canine friend. So I'll let you, again, just kind of explain how things are going with the dog situation.
Yeah, so for the most part, like you said, we kind of adopted out those 12 puppies and seemed to fill the shelter right back up with the same amount. So yeah, we had a couple few dogs come in. So we have a few of them in foster right now. Some of them have a little bit of allergy issues we're trying to figure out for them. And then yeah, just a couple that are waiting for their spay neuter surgeries. Actually, Lake Glen College in Vermilion is going to be doing a lot of those for us as well too. So that's that's someone that we absolutely appreciate their help with as well, just to help us get some of those surgeries done, and helps the students as well too. So yeah, so I think 2 of our dogs and some of our cats are chilling there right now, and then some will be going next week too. So it's getting some out, but they'll be coming right back in. So we're hoping that we're going to post them on our website. So if you are interested in taking a look at what we got, that's where they're going to be posted.
Absolutely, and I always like to mention, obviously, keep an eye on the SPCA's social media accounts. Their Instagram is great. I know you guys are on Facebook. You know, certainly check around, and you'll see those pet pictures as they come up. You guys are really good about posting every day and really showing off the animals. So definitely keep an eye out. If you're in the market for a dog, you know, now's the time to keep an eye on the SPCA. But unfortunately, that is all the time we have this week. Becca, I want to thank you for stopping by. I want to thank Paisley for taking time to chat with us, get some pets there. And yes, thank you so much for everything, Becca, and we'll speak with you again next week.
For sure. See you next week.
Pet Project is sponsored by the Pet Pad. For total pet care, think Pet Pad.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Today for Primetime Local News, I'm joined with the critically acclaimed novelist and celebrity ghostwriter Joni Rogers to talk about her newest collection, the 6-0 collection, which features 6 of her previous books that are getting rebranded and republished for this collection. So thank you so much, Joni, for joining us here today.
Thank you so much for having me, Nicole.
So what can people expect to see in this newest collection?
Well, it's been really a trippy experience. It's the books that I wrote when I was young and first starting out my career. For example, the very first novel that I wrote when I was 32 years old, I was in chemotherapy for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And this story was sort of the life raft that I climbed onto in that moment. But I realized when I went to re-release the 25th anniversary edition that I've grown so much, and I'm so much more clear about who I am as a writer and a human being that I really wanted to have the book evolve with me. So the covers have all been redesigned with sort of 1970s Polish poster art inspired covers. And I've done a little bit of work on the interior so that the writing level is now up to the level where I am now, as opposed to when I was first starting.
You had said that women in their 60s shouldn't necessarily take this time to slow down, but should instead take this time to kickstart their careers all over again and really take this time to reinvent their careers professionally. So what makes you feel this way?
I wrote my first novel when I was 32 years old in chemotherapy for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And my prognosis was not good. I was expected to live 5 years at the most. So my goal then was just trying to be 40. I mean, I wanted to be older. And so the idea that I should ever regret being another year older has always been foreign to me. And the fact that I'm 60 this year is just absolutely thrilling. And these books are really a celebration of that, not just the fact that I survived, but the fact that I've learned and grown so much.
And what inspired you to take these particular books and add it to this collection?
I think that first novel meant so much to me because I truly felt like it saved my life in many ways. And each of these books is still very relevant and timely in terms of the subject matter, which is slightly upsetting that things that women were coping with 25 years ago really haven't changed that much. Sexism and homophobia and et cetera, we're still working on all those things. And then in a universal sense, women are still working with the big issues that we've always been working with, aging gracefully, raising our children, working in a way that's meaningful.
So it is International Women's Day today. So what advice do you have for women that are looking to get ahead in their lives professionally?
Something really powerful that I would suggest is an exercise that I used when I was redoing my first novel, Crazy for Trying, and trying to rethink that book from my perspective now. And this is something that I also use with my ghostwriting and memoir clients. I will ask them to tell their story in 10 words, and then tell their story in 100 words, and then 1,000 words. And then thinking about purpose, reverse engineer that, make that 1,000 words 100 words, and then reduce that 100 words to 10 words about your purpose. And I promise you will be able to apply those 10 words to every aspect of your life. Even though the exercise for me was about that novel, I've applied that 10-word purpose to renovating my kitchen, the decision to have silver hair, let my hair naturally be silver, which relationships in my life that I want to nurture or lovingly let go. So I think the key things that I learned were just this clarity of purpose, the need to surround myself with art and music and words that inspire us, and to embrace this power and wisdom that we have earned.
Well, thank you so much, Joni, for joining us here today.
Thank you, Nicole. It was a pleasure.
Ending off, we're taking a quick look at your 7-day forecast. We will see a little bit more sun tomorrow with -15. That will continue Thursday and Friday. And then Saturday, we will be seeing a beautiful Saturday for our weekend. And then kind of cooling down the end off the weekend at -8 with a 60% chance of some flurries. Then Monday and Tuesday next week, we will be seeing those single-digit temperatures. So we will hopefully warm up next week.
Thank you for that, Shelby, and thank you for joining us on Primetime Local News. And if you want to catch more news, you can join us again in the second hour.